Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here. Welcome to another Reiwa era ranking video. I promise just one more of these while I procrastinate doing my reading your thoughts on Revice video. I've had some ideas for others, like maybe secondary writers, but we'll do that down the line. But today we're ranking all of our main Reiwa era protagonists so far, excluding Zetz at the moment because we are only a few episodes in at this point, and while I like him, there's not enough information to put him in this list. But anyway, after further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so let's start off at the bottom of the list. You know it's coming. If you watch the series ranking video, you know who's going to be at the bottom of the list. Our boy, Hotaro. Our boy. I'm the dumbest boy in school. I'm going to try to keep this short, because you guys know why I don't like him if you're a regular viewer. If you're not, just look at him. Just look at him. It's like, you look up the definition of pathetic in the dictionary, it's Hotaro. I said this in the series review, and if you didn't watch that, I just think he was miscast. I just feel like he doesn't have a lead character energy. Like, even some of the more wimpier looking leads we have, when they, get serious, I can take them seriously. Not like it's a sudden transformation where they all of a sudden become a heroic lead, but I think they have, the chops at least to play the different facets, whereas Hotaro, I just could not take him seriously. I think it was the pinnacle of this sort of show don't tell, or tell don't show, rather, character, where we're just told, why he's so special, why he loves the chemies, and just at the peak of annoying for me. I'm not going to go on longer, but you guys know why I dislike him if you've watched any of my other videos. After that is Toma, Kamen Rider Saber. I don't have as much hate to him as much as Hotaro, but I'm definitely not a fan of this character. Also another character where they spent so much of the show telling me why he's so special, but I never got it. And I'm like, yeah, not really. I mean, his fashion sense was atrocious, and he was just so bland and generic, and I was not a fan of this character. It didn't hold me back from enjoying the Saber series, but yeah, not a fan. Following that up with Aruto. Aruto is a good example, as I said in my ranking of the series, of a character that's kind of like this classic modern writer protagonist, very quirky, specialist boy, but the performance is endearing enough with the sort of bad jokes that I really actually enjoyed watching him. There's obviously going to be times where this type of character will annoy me, and I fundamentally disagree with his take on, robots being people, but I enjoyed him. I enjoyed his character. I didn't hate him at all, and I think it's a good example of you can still have this type of character and make him likable, and I think they also did a good job of getting me to understand, why he loved the human gears. I mentioned this in my ranking of the series, but I feel like they did a lot of telling you why Hotaro liked the chemies instead of making me understand it, but this one did a good job of getting me to understand his motivations, and he was an enjoyable character to watch, despite me not caring for that type of character. After that is Ikki and Vice. I guess you could say primarily Ikki. I feel like Ikki's whole dynamic about him being a busybody and people calling that out was a meta commentary, because I felt that the Veil character was meant to be an homage to Showa era writers, where I think this was meant to maybe be an homage to the sort of getting in everyone's business Heisei era type character, and Reiwa. I mean, to be honest, even though I'm doing a Reiwa era ranking, I don't think there's any distinction between Reiwa and Heisei. You can totally see some distinctions between Showa and Heisei, but Reiwa is just an extension of Heisei for me. People are like, oh, classic Reiwa era trait. I'm like, this is the same. I don't think they're actively trying to do anything different at all, with the exception of stuff like Geats, and I don't think they sat down with Geats and were like, let's make this a Reiwa era stamp. No, I don't think they're thinking about that at all. I find more distinct differences between pre-decade Heisei and post-decade Heisei. Anyway, that's just a mini rant, because I feel like people think that they're thinking about that. I don't think they're thinking about trying to make Reiwa different at all. We might as well still be in the Heisei era. Anyway, who was I talking about? Ikki. Ikki, in general, I didn't have too many problems with him. Sometimes he would annoy me, but I generally liked his character. I think they did a good job of getting me to understand why he felt the way he did about things, and I think my favorite thing about the series shines through with him, which is how we all handle our demons, and how it was represented through him literally living with his demon, overcoming it, but it was always still with him, like you see at the end of the series when he says something Vice would say, showing that was basically him all along. So I thought that was well done, and that's why he ranked a little bit higher for me. Then you have Shoma, another good example of them Shomaing me that they can do a character like this and make him likable. He felt like the writer version of Kamen Red for me, which I've mentioned before on this channel, whereas going into the series, I was fully ready to hate this character because it's the same type of character I don't like, but then they showed me a version of this that can be well done. A character that would be light and funny and silly, but then when he got stern and badass, I could take it seriously. But also I loved that he was very different from that in the sense that even though he had a lot of the core characteristics that modern writer protagonists have, he had two things that they don't, which is he was cutthroat. He basically killed his whole family. That makes him sound psychotic if you've never seen the series, but they were villains. And in most other series, they would give a generic Toku Hallmark speech about how they couldn't take him out or whatever, but he would give them one chance. He's like, I'm going to give you a chance to leave Earth alone or whatever, and if they said no, you're done. No second chances. He was that sort of man. I appreciated that, and also the fact that he wasn't so much of a busybody like the other characters, where they impose their morals and point of view on their friends and stuff. Like with Honto. One of my favorite moments in the series is when Honto found his mother's killer, and he said, I don't agree with you going after him, but you do what you gotta do. No other writer protagonist would say that. I love that, and it shines through why I loved Gavv's characters, because they felt like real human beings and not toku caricature cartoons. Number one for me, though, is Ace. Even though I was annoyed that it turned into worshipping the main character's point of view, even with a badass character, it was just refreshing to have a different type of character. I don't want to have a jerk main character every year. I just wish we shuffled it up more where it doesn't feel like we have 85% of the same character every year. So I just, in general, liked having a more badass character for that year. And I just miss having a character that feels badass under the suit. Like, you have these awesome rider suits and they de-transform and it's always this little twerp. And it was cool to actually have a character that felt like they were very fitting of the suit. I love the sort of trickster element they had in there because of like the fox and the trickster spirit and stuff like there, you know, kitsune, whatnot. I just really liked that. I feel like I probably agree with Shoma's character more in terms of I connect with his character more and agree with his decisions more, but I just prefer this type of protagonist, which is why he's at the top of the list. Anyways, guys, that's about it for this one. As always, let me know your list in the comments and explain to me why Hotaro is also at the bottom. Anyways, guys, I said anyways already, but anyways, until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, climb the steps, and ring that bell to get notifications for all my videos. Dawson Rider, signing out.